Okay, I finally made a winter outfit, and this is it. You can buy the clothes part of this in my group, which is linked in the description. So I'll explain this avatar, just because why not? So, like I just said, I made the shirt and the pants myself. They're on sale in the group. This hat is a Roblox toy code. This is like a limited item from earlier this year when you could initially buy it. It is kind of annoying that this particle effect doesn't go away in first person, so I may decide to change that. And then this is from one of those like concert event thingies that happened like 1 year ago, I think. It was the 22 pilots one. So today I'm going to be building Tower of Festive Facility Infiltration, which is going to be the third and final tower of the Christmas event this year. So in Steeple of Ice Caverns, you went down here to get the key card, which you'll need to get into here. Then in Steeple of Christmas Climbing, you climb up all this to get up the mountain up to here. And I added this sign. So like once you reach the wind pad, which is right here, you get teleported to here. It says, "Very well done, agent. Now that you've collected the key card and reached the top of the mountain, it's time to infiltrate Glacier Laboratories." And you don't actually have to beat Steeple of Christmas Climbing to actually get up there, because there's a secret teleporter that takes you to the Tower of Festive Facility Infiltration portal. So that just takes you to this exact same location. Actually, no, it doesn't. Let me change that. Change it to teleport you there, but this is just a music part and a speed pad, I think. So they just changed to what is by default, because it's changed on this last section of this tower. So really that's not that necessary, but whatever. Okay, so when you enter it, you get teleported over here, and you can see there's kind of invisible walls around here. So when you click please insert key card, or when you click that, it'll open the door, but you don't actually need the key card, because there's, yeah. Down here at like the base of the mountain, it says you will need to get into the facility, retrieve all the boxes of wrapping paper, and exit the facility, all without sending off any alarms or getting caught. So there's going to be more alarms and traps and things as you go up, but I think we'll just start it off easy on this first floor. And the difficulty of this is challenging, I believe. Yeah, mid-challenging. If it wasn't already obvious, I'm going to keep wearing this outfit, like, after Christmas, because it's winter. So, the first day of spring... When is the first day of spring? Having to look this up again. For the Northern Hemisphere, it is March 20th. Maybe I'll wear this outfit that whole time. Maybe I won't. I don't really know. Let's do an 11-stud jump now. You could count along here, but I'll put this here anyway, if you want to count. You know, people do that if you want to count, but you usually see this where it's like not against a wall. Right here, we're going to put an unmarked conveyor, and since it's like the third jump of the tower, it's fine. That's probably going to happen the first time you do that. Now, the idea was that you're getting boxes of wrapping paper. I don't know if I'm thinking I might do this kind of like Tower of Team C's and Tower of something like Extraordinary Adventures, I think, in Ring 5 of JTOH, where you have to like collect it each floor, but you technically could not do that. I don't know. Each floor there's going to be parkour that you get to the box, which is going to be a push box, and then you have to get it into like an Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator type thing. It's not going to destroy it though, so I guess it's not an Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator. Let's just build the last bit of this floor though, which is just going to be some seat jumps. Okay, so I decided how this is going to kind of work. I put some signs here that say, here's the plan. In order to collect each box of wrapping paper, you will need to push it onto a blue neon pad that looks like this. Try it. So you'll do that. That shouldn't be plural. That should be singular. The box will then be teleported safely back to the Arctic Agent's headquarters. The pads are located throughout the facility on a previous... Wait, that's also incorrect grammar. The pads are located throughout the facility and were placed there on a previous mission by another agent, but in order to hide them, they had to be deactivated until now. To reactivate the pads, complete the parkour outside the facility and pull the lever. So we'll get to making this, like, actually work the way I want it to after we build the parkour over here. We're gonna build this parkour out of, like, rocks. So it's, like, supposed to be natural. Like it was already here, I guess. Or maybe just part of it. It leads to this button. Now we're going to also make this be an make objects invisible button. If I didn't point it out before, this one is also make objects invisible. What will it be making invisible, you may ask? Each one is going to deactivate just a block over here that prevents you from actually entering it. So that's all this is doing. It's not actually activating the things inside of it, but we do kind of need to make that make sense logically. So this is what the blue things will do, and this is how they weren't caught, I guess. So this button will be linked to this, and I probably set the wrong properties. It should be that. Invisible and can collide true. To be able to select this other one, we're going to temporarily move it. This one, we're going to do the same thing, but deactivate that one. This is when you push the box onto here. So that way, you have to actually do this demonstration and press this button before you can actually enter the facility. And if you're wondering where they actually go, they're going to go just into a box down here. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to put like a roof on top of here, which should hopefully minimize the chances of it flinging out of here. which I don't really see how that would be possible anyway. Now, the pads that are actually inside here, they're going to have another button over them, similar to this one, but it's just going to activate like a ladder or a teleporter or something that will allow you to go into the next floor. Okay, before we continue, I'm just going to reset and go through this whole thing to make sure it all works. I did change this. It initially said pull a lever, but I already made it be a button, so now it says press the button. And also, it makes it clear you have to do that before you can actually enter the facility, so I added that one sentence. Now, something I'm concerned about is this block prevents you from clicking this. Okay, if I just put here, you may need to go into first person, then they'll know you just do that. Because that puts your camera inside those two parts, so you'll actually be able to click it. And you technically won't always have to if you're zoomed in close enough, because if, like I just said, your camera needs to be inside the two parts. So I put the button here, where you want it to be infinite time, make objects invisible. Some of these ones will be make objects visible, but this one's not. It's going to deactivate a part right here. You may or may not have noticed that I changed the size of this a little bit, because it's going to deactivate this. So hold on, I also want to make it so it's push box activated. So you will do this, and then this will open. I don't know if I should put an arrow. It's probably pretty obvious it does that, but maybe you'll think like you won't know if you're actually supposed to go there. So a neon arrow will go right here, indicating you go this way, with 0.01 transparency. This doesn't really matter that much, but I'm going to make it can collide false. Then we're going to put a part over it, like this. We'll make it can collide false, and 0.99 transparency, or no, 0.01. Glass, no, 0.99. I'm doing this completely wrong. Okay, that didn't work. Glass is supposed to make not transparency 0 things invisible. Maybe it's because it's neon. Okay, I guess 0.01 wasn't enough. That seemed to work. I don't think it was the neon, so I guess I can change that back. Now all we gotta do is make this also deactivate this, and then to test it, let's just reset. There we go. Anyway, you go in there, you use the jump pad to go up here, into the next floor. Since I managed to make 7 minutes of this video be building one floor, we'll just skip ahead a little bit. On the next floor, I introduced orange lasers, which deal 35 damage, or the equivalent of 7 normal kill bricks. And then on the floor after that, I did like a mirror thing, where it's like the parkour is mirrored on the other side of the floor. And I also put some orange lasers at the bottom, and they move as well, so you have to jump over them. So that brings us to floor 4, where I introduced red lasers, which insta-kill. Okay, I'm thinking what you'll be able to do there is that, I don't know why I didn't take damage. That's probably gonna be what always happens, because of course it would just do something completely weird and unexpected like that. Okay, that time it worked. So you do have to hit one of the orange lasers, and then get across the rest of the way here as fast as you can. For this, the push box, once it's here, then you actually have to do all of this again, so that you'll go up the truss. And I've already built the parkour on the next floor with like the lasers that you're going to deactivate. Okay, this one does have a reset box button thing, just in case this somehow gets pushed like over here. I need to make this smaller because it's like impossible to push it. I think 6x6x6 should be fine. So like if it somehow gets pushed over here, there's no way you're going to be able to make that jump. So you can just do that. That way you'll be able to do this jump. Also, you kind of have 2 directions to go here, but they're the same. It doesn't really matter. I don't really know how this would be pushed because you kind of need to be down here to push it. But, you know, this is here just to prevent soft locking. Actually, you'll be able to just press this and it'll teleport back, and that wouldn't make any sense, like, after you put it on the blue teleporter thing. So there's no way it's going to be moved, so actually that's not necessary. So you're going to take a moving lava. We want it to have the same visual properties as these. We want this to be activation type button activated. So we want this to be 15 in this direction. Because that's half the length of this, and then 1 out here. On this one, I'm going to take the, like, first location, I guess, here, and take the second location and put it right here. So when activated, half of this should go this way, and half of this should go this way. So now I'm going to copy and paste this. Actually, I can't put them these tightly, because there needs to be 30 or less, because that's the button activation limit, like how many objects you can connect a button to. I mean, that means there's got to be 15 across here. I think this should be fine. Yeah, you could probably still stand here without dying, but you definitely wouldn't be able to push this box. I just centered these, so I had to select them all. It said 22 parts selected, so I know this is fine. Now, I did kind of like this being like the way it just was, but then how are the lasers going through it? So that doesn't really make any sense. Now, I think all that's left to do is change this to activate parts and just make it be connected to all of these. Okay, let's see. Aha, it works. That's so satisfying to watch. Oh, I gotta select them all again and make reverse be off. So with all these selected, I need to turn reverse off. I can change anything else I want right now. Maybe make this a little bit faster. I want to change the easing style to, I guess, sigmoid. So when you press this, they'll all go away. You can step down safely. Yes. You know how I like rising lava sections. Well, we're going to do that here for the last 3 floors, but instead of rising lava, it's going to be rising lasers. So we're going to do it pretty similar to the way we did here. This button is going to activate moving parts, and they're going to start moving up. So this will just be an epic time lapse. The tower is now done, and I guess the whole event is also done. Well, I guess I'll come back and add more detail to this, so actually no, it's not. Okay, so before you even enter the tower, it says, "Very well done, agent. Now that you've collected the key card and reached the top of the mountain, it is time to infiltrate Glacier Laboratories. Here's the plan. In order to collect each box of wrapping paper, you'll need to push it onto a blue pad that looks like this. Try it." So if you do that, it does that. The box will then be teleported safely back to the Arctic Agent's headquarters. The pads are located throughout the facility and were placed on a previous mission by another agent, but in order to hide them, they had to be deactivated until now. To reactivate the pads, complete the parkour outside the facility and press the button. After that, you can enter the facility. So you go over here, and most of the supports on here are can't collect falls, so you can't shortcut. You saw nothing there. You go across this moving part, and then you can press the button. Now you can enter, and so it says, "Please insert key card by clicking/tapping. You may need to go into first person." So do that. So you climb up this, and then you do this 11 stud, then wrap rounds, seat jumps, then push this off here. There we go. Now that opens up, and it says, "The first of the facility's traps are on this floor. Orange lasers deal 35 damage if you touch them, much more than a typical kill brick." So you hit this, and there's a 5-second timer to go over here and do that. Here you need to both avoid this and, of course, the neon laser. You also need to avoid it here, so don't do that. I haven't actually tested this. Okay, yeah, you can just kind of walk off to the side there. Then you do that, and then that activates this teleporter, and then you can go to the next floor. This one was the mirrors. Follow the parkour that's mirrored on the opposite side of the transparent wall. So, yeah, I did nerf this quite a lot. I mean, maybe not quite a lot, but some anyway. I got rid of the sort of walk around thing, so you just do that. And then you do that, and then you do that. Haha, funny. Hashtag everything. It's kind of a problem because anyone who loads this is just gonna not know that that insta-kills. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did not touch that there. Okay, so you go on this spinning platform, and then you need to jump there. However, you need to actually make the jump. And you also need to stay on the ladder. Or chest, I mean. Okay, here, you gotta do that. Sometimes you take damage, sometimes you don't. It's weird. Okay, then you need to push this off. It might be possible to have it just land directly on here, but after you do that, you're supposed to do all the parkour to get up here. If it lands directly on there, and you don't need to jump down there and push it further, then I guess you don't need to do the parkour again, but whatever. The lasers at the bottom of this floor must be deactivated before you can safely move the push box. We'll just do that, so I don't have to wait as long. Push this button, and it will deactivate those. You can now do that, and then do that. Oh, I gotta set the location of this, though. There we go. You're almost there. In order to collect the last few boxes, you must press this button. Unfortunately, that will cause the lasers below to start rising. So, I don't know. This isn't that hard. Maybe. Okay. That was kind of close. The boxes can go through the lasers, I guess, which you already knew from the other floor, where you had to move the lasers out of the way. There, and that's the end. I might make it so it teleports you to a room that'll just be here, where it says thank you for saving the push boxes or something, and for playing the event or whatever, but I won't do that right now. Here's the Obby ID if you want to come play this Obby. So thanks so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing down below. Here's the Obby ID if you want to come play this. This video is going to be posted on Christmas Eve, so I'll see you in the next video, and Merry Christmas.